Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I want to talk about Nick Richards' Phoenix Suns debut. So before we start today's video, I'd like to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Did you guys like Nick Richards' debut as a Phoenix Suns? I think he is the kind of the center they needed. Someone who can run with the other players in transition, is able to stay in the dunker spot, make the easy plays, and grab rebounds. One quick note that I thought was really cool that our boy Bobby Marks put out was that prior to tonight, this was a guy that whenever he did play over 20 minutes, he was already averaging 13 points, almost 11 rebounds, and guess what? 29 minutes, 21 points, 11 rebounds, solid showcasing from the man himself, Nick Richards. So as we look at today's video, I want to hear your thoughts. All right, so I thought on that Saturday that we got to see a little bit of Nick Richards go up against the Detroit Pistons, who are a formidable foe. Don't you doubt those Pistons. And they ended up walking away with a 125 to 121 win. And I think this game highlighted the Suns' tenacity, but marked the impact that debut. I don't know why I said that word. The impact that the debuting center, Nick Richards, had. And obviously, if you didn't know, Josh Okogie was traded for Nick Richards. And Kevin Durant and Devin Booker did their thing. They combined for an impressive 71 points. Durant scored 30 of his 36 in the second half, and Booker continued his streak of 30-point games. And amidst this high-octane offense, I think Nick Richards' substantial impact off the bench needs to be talked about. 21 points, 11 rebounds in 29 minutes. I think eventually he might start unless they feel that Mason Plumlee's the starter. Mason Plumlee's a really good passer, and he came out, played how he had to, and on the season, Nick Richards is averaging 9.5 points and 7.7 rebounds going into tonight. And I think his debut shows that the productivity in this high-pressure environment, what felt somewhat like a playoff game, is going to be a seamless integration into the Suns' rotation under Coach Mike Budenholzer, as Budenholzer's known for his focus on ball movement and spacing. And as you saw, Nick Richards was really settling. If he wasn't setting screens, he was just waiting at the dunker spot, patiently watching and being attentive while his, colleagues, his teammates were moving the ball around. And if he needed a help, he would come and just stay ready, and you would see like Tyus Jones or Devin Booker or KD drop it off to him. Or if there was a rebound, he was able to, still help and be a part of that Mike Budenholzer offense that loves that ball moving and the spacing and his ability to dominate the paint and just contribute effectively. Like, he's a 70% almost field goal shooter, and rebound, just know where the ball's going to bounce. And especially with Richards now offering a athletic presence and size inside with some size, I think this is going to allow them to balance that perimeter heavy attack that they've had. Especially there was multiple times I saw in transition that I felt like Tyus Jones was just happy to have his big man next to him to run the fast break. And moreover, as I said, I was overzealous. He's close to 60%. On the season, he's shooting 58% from the field. And Mike Budenholzer has always liked big men who favor high efficiency shots. And obviously, he outshone his shooting average tonight. He basically didn't miss anything, and he demonstrated his ability to finish at the rim and just aligned with the Phoenix Suns' need for a robust inside presence to complement their guard heavy, wing heavy team. And I think Richards is more than expected to move into the starting lineup, which could shift this team into even more of an aggressive one, as his ability to pull down rebounds and protect the rim, I think, is crucial. And then on defense, he's solidifying their defensive setup, and which I think is something that they missed. Now, Kevin Durant is averaging 27 points a night, shooting like 52% from the field. He's still his thing. Devin Booker's a dog, playing like they need him. And with the Suns right now being a team that is going out and having a solid start to the year while scoring 113 points per game almost as a unit, which I think is something middle of the pack, actually. So I think the Suns team having Nick Richards that efficiently score is going to help them, because their field goal percentage is 9th in the NBA, while them only scoring 113 points a night puts them at 14th in the NBA. If they have another guy who can finish inside effectively, it's going to help them. They are the 5th worst rebounding team in the league. 42.5 rebounds going in tonight. I think that's going to be something that's going to help this team. And the other thing is they're allowing 114 points a night. So I think having this interior presence now, Nick Richards, who's athletic enough, is going to allow them to just have someone that people just can't go and drive into the paint continuously, as again, 1.5 blocks almost. And I think with the Suns being this perimeter oriented offense, having a reliable guy inside that can stay in the dunker spot and finish and be a good target for Durant, Beal, and Booker will allow them to maximize how he's going to fit with this team. And did this just speed up? It felt like that just sped up. I'm sorry. I have no idea how that happened. But yeah, so I felt when you look at the other thing is that Mike Budenholzer likes guys who don't do too much. They play within their roles, especially Nick Richards' ability to play within the system, which is going to be asking him provide screens, roll to the rim, stay in the dunker spot, and finish the high efficient looks. So as we said, expect him to be integrated into the starting lineup. As he gains more playing time, the chemistry with Durant and Booker and Beal will be huge. Same thing with Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn, and Royce O'Neal. But that's the thing. Now that you have Oso Ighodaro and Mason Plumlee, 2 good passing big men and Oso hypothetically can, eventually stretch the floor. But I think this is something that is alleviating both sides of the floor in a way that they needed that. They needed Nick Richards to come in here and be able to provide what they're getting out of him. And I think tonight we got to see a showcase of that. And yeah, what do you guys think of tonight's game for Nick Richards? And do you guys agree with me that it's foreshadowing of what the future could look like? Because the other thing is if we look at the actual numbers, the box score, just to see what the Suns ran minute-wise rotation will kind of show us there. Mason Plumlee, 13 minutes tonight. I think he comes off the bench now. And Ighodaro only played 5 minutes. Monte. So yeah, like they're going to run more than likely a 4-man rotation. You put Nick Richards as the starter, and you're going to run your 6th man is Grayson Allen. Your 7th man is more than likely Royce O'Neal. Then your 8th guy in this case would be Mason Plumlee. Then you got Monte Morris and then Oso Ighodaro. That's the whole 10-man rotation. Then by the playoffs, like we said, it's probably Mason Plumlee just to give Nick Richards a breather. Same thing with Oso Ighodaro, like a little bit of a breather for Mason and Nick, as they'll have like a center by committee. And then you'll have Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal who come in for the wings of, and the forwards of Durant, Ryan Dunn. There's also Bradley Beal, who will he stay off the bench? Will he stay on this team? That's the big question, but that's another thing. So they'll have like an 8 or 9 man rotation right there that I think is going to be really solid. But yeah, let me hear your thoughts. What do you guys think?